All right. Well, hey, that is fantastic news. If you are still with us, we apologize about the inconvenience. Somebody in Austin, Texas, decided to hit a pole that knocked out Dave's internet. So we just hope that they are okay. And we are going to continue and finish this mock draft. With me today, if you don't know who he is Ian Cummings. He is a pro football network draft analyst. We have Nick back in the chat. We appreciate you sticking around with us. Ian, in this mock draft so far, you have selected for the Minnesota Vikings Derek Stingley Jr. at number 12 and Drake Jackson, the edge from USC, at 46. And we were just starting to talk about the guys on the board because one of the guys that you have, Skye Moore, you have ranked at 70 as on the PFN consensus. And he on the Arif Hassan's consensus board ranks at 57, where you hear a lot of the vocal minority talking about how much they love Skye Moore and they value him, but it doesn't seem like the rankings fit in the same. When you take a look at him, do you believe he's going to be there in the third round? And what kind of player do you think he's going to be moving forward at the NFL level?
Yeah, looking at where it's been trending, it's looking like he's trending a little bit higher, and I do have him a little bit higher than this. I remember when we talked about it, we were thinking, yeah, put him at 70, so there's a chance that he sneaks into the second round, but it may be time, it may be due to move him up a little bit more because he is a very talented player. And I remember when I wrote up a scouting report, the thing that really stuck out to me, if there's such a thing as a violent route runner, this guy is it. I mean, he's so twitchy, he's so sudden with his movements at the line. And I agree, I doubt he'd be here. So we can operate with the assumption that he wouldn't be here at this pick and look at other options on the board. Let's switch to offensive guard if we can. I want to see the options there because I know, we skipped Sean Ryan and Dave wasn't a fan of that. So let's see if we can get an interior offensive lineman and get a big belly guy out here. So look at Cole Strange, obviously, very athletic player who I thought showed out pretty well at the Senior Bowl. He's a little bit, I would like him to get a little bit stronger, play strength. He's, not lacking in physical strength, but, on the field, it doesn't always translate. But at the Senior Bowl was a very resilient player, very good leverage, very good athleticism. I do think that the upside is there. Put him at right guard next to Brian O'Neill. Could be a very good player. I do think right now on this board, it looks like he's probably the best value. Jamari Sawyer is another one. He's ranked a little bit lower here, but I do think he can be a very good player. I think the key with Sawyer is that he translates better to guard. He played tackle in college. I think you put him at guard. He's one of those guys who's like around 6'2", 320, 34-inch arms. So very good power capacity with that length and can use that to drive guys back. But let's go Cole Strange here because I think it's a good value with the athleticism that he has. They love athletic offensive linemen, and Strange can play center or guard. He's got that interior flexibility, which really helps him out there.
And as Nick kind of asked in the chat, do you think that because of the lack of picking up that fifth-year option, that the Vikings are going to prioritize taking a center over a guard in the middle rounds because it is viewed as that more premium position?
I could see that for sure. I think that especially in this class, it's a little thin at the center position. Like there's some guys who can play both, but if you're the Vikings, I would definitely use one of those middle round picks on a center. I think it's not just Cole Strange. Like he can definitely play it, but there's other guys that could be options too. Cam Jurgens from Nebraska is one that I really like. A little undersized again, but in that zone scheme can be a very good player. I think that Luke Fordner from Kentucky is pretty underrated. I have a day two grade on him, and I think he'll be a very solid player for a long time. Donovan West from Arizona State, Dylan Parham can play center. There's a lot of options for the Vikings, in this class. Again, a little thinner, but if you find the right player, there's a lot of versatility out there, and that's the key for you. So I think if you're the Vikings, you got to circle one of those guys and try and get them in that center room because if you're not extending Garrett Bradbury, which at this point I don't know why you would, I think it's better to cut ties. Just decline that fifth-year option and let him move on to free agency. Set the course. Set a new course at center. I think this is a good class to do that.
It absolutely is. And when you take a look at this group, it's hard to really argue because you hit three really good players at value at positions of need, and you really can't do the NFL draft better than that. Ian, we greatly appreciate your time. I know this is an insanely busy week for all of us in the draft community. Why don't you tell the people where they can find you, what you have going on, and tell the people what PFN has going on in store for draft weekend.
Yes, you can follow me at Ian_Cummings_9 on Twitter. PFN is at PFN365. What we have going on, we're doing a big board update. I think it's coming out tomorrow, actually. Or I still got to finalize mine, but it'll come out tomorrow or the next day. A final big board update before the NFL draft. We're working on 2023 guys already, too, trying to roll over guys in the next cycle. So we're preparing for that. But first off, we got the 2022 NFL draft on Thursday. And what we're going to do, we're going to do live grading for all 32 teams. We're going to update those articles periodically with each pick, and then we're going to have 2023 mock after the final day. Round 2 and 3 mock, round 4 through 7 mock. Everything you can imagine, we've got it covered over there. So got a busy weekend ahead, but it's what we signed up for. So happy to finally be here, and kind of at the end of the cycle, and kind of building up to see what happens.
Absolutely, and in just 3 days, we will know who is going where with the first 32 picks in the NFL draft. Dave, we would like to officially welcome your face into the show. We took a round belly for you, so I know
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
and one that could play center. That's a good idea.
Yes, hopefully the Vikings will do the exact same here this weekend. Tell the good people what we have going on this week, because I know it is a lot, and it's going to be a good time.
Tomorrow night, we have In the Huddle, and we have various Climb in the Pocket personalities, including Jonas from Germany, joining to do a full 7-round live mock draft. It'll be the first time we do a 7-rounder here on the network this season. Wednesday, we have Vikings Happy Hour, I believe. Still haven't got confirmation on that. And then Thursday, we start it from the beginning. Before NFL goes live, we will wall-to-wall coverage of this year's NFL draft. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Now, the special one is Friday from Lake Monster Brewing, where you have a chance to win a jersey, 2 UNL or UNRL sweatshirts that are absolutely sweet, and free beer from Lake Monster. Can't beat that for nothing. You get a chance to talk live on the air with our hosts and question, did the Vikings do well on day 1, and have they done well so far during day 2 in the draft? Express your opinions, have good times, drink great beer, and have fun. And Saturday, we'll wrap up the final rounds and close it all out for the week. Should be an absolute blast.
It absolutely should. And make sure you're on the lookout for me. This morning, I dropped a what I would do 7-round Vikings mock draft for the Vikings Wire. I have later on this week a 7-round mock draft prediction of what Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah will be doing in this upcoming draft. I had a piece released today. Yes, I had a piece released today from NBC Sports Edge predicting 4 trades, including one that we saw Ian do in a different way, the Kansas City Chiefs trading up to get Jameson Williams because the fit just makes sense. And then I'll have pieces before day 2 and day 3 with guys that you should keep your eye on and why it matters where they end up going. In the meantime, thank you for spending this draft cycle with us here on Monday nights. And thank you again to Ian for coming on and providing some fantastic insight and a different perspective on this Vikings team. Until then, where Dave and I become the marathon men once again, we will see you on Thursday. Skol, everybody. Get excited. It's draft time.
Thanks, Ian. Skol Vikings! Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell, and rate us on your favorite aggregator. And a special shout-out goes to our partners, The Daily Norseman, where the best Vikings content can be found, and to Lake Monster Brewing, home of the best beer in Minnesota. Skol, everybody.